Alright, it's time for another video update on the 60-gallon system by jmadden184. It's now January 2013, and made some changes to the system. I decided that it was time for me to start dosing the system once again. As you all know, I've dosed in the past. I'm a big fan of the bionic calcium 2-part along with alkalinity, and also use the Marine Tech Magnesium as well as the essential elements. The tank has responded really well since switching off the filtered natural seawater and going straight to dosing. I haven't done any water changes on the system for roughly 3 weeks now. As you recall, before, when I was using the filtered natural seawater, I was doing water changes once a week of roughly 25 gallons to maintain my parameters and keep them high. Since dosing, the coral growth has still been exploding. A lot of the hard corals are really taking off a little bit quicker because I can maintain levels higher and more constantly. And as you all know, stability is key in this hobby. I want to go ahead and show you some of the new growth on some of these corals and let you kind of see some of the interesting things that are happening within the system over the last month since the last video. Just go ahead and pull back here a little bit. One of the things that's going on in the system that's pretty interesting is, I'm not sure if you can see it up here, but where my return is, I went ahead and I put a little, I'm not sure what you call it, it's kind of like a sea swirl, but it just snaps onto your inlet and it just rotates around and it randomizes the flow. As you can see there, as the current rotates and just blasts through the anemones, it's kind of cool. Since putting that there, I've had a little bit of movement out of the anemones. Most notably this one over here. As you can see, it's attached its base to the side of the glass and it reaches up here. Now, these anemones have all been over here on this side of the tank for quite some time, and I've never had an issue with them in the power head. The MP10 being right here. The reason why I've been successful with having anemones so close to this MP10 is this right here. It's all about the setting that you have the pump on. Right now, the pump is in short pulse, so essentially what's occurring is that as the pump pulses, it's drawing water in and then blasting it out. Now, if it's pulsating like this, the anemone doesn't have a chance to really get sucked and get pulled into the pump. If there's too much pressure on the anemone for too long, the anemone just retracts, and since the pump is kind of turning up and turning down, this allows the anemone to be able to retract and not get sucked into the power head and get chopped up. As you can see, they're incredibly close to this power head. You can see there, they're close. And I haven't had any problems with it. So, as long as the anemone doesn't walk right over it, nothing's going to happen. But they've been staying in the same spot for quite some time. And of course, the clownfish have been doing their thing. And once again, we have another batch of eggs. These have been here for roughly 2 weeks now, and they're doing great. You can see the little eyes on the yolk sacs of the baby clownfish. This coral over here, which is one of my favorites, the Acropora plana, is growing like crazy. As you can see, it's almost to the glass. It should be there shortly. I can't even get a mag float in between it anymore, so that's really cool. The Turbinia coral is doing well. Lots and lots of new mushrooms growing as usual. The large Tyree toadstool leather over there on the left dropped another baby, and I mounted it right there to a piece of live rock. The little plate coral here, all three of them, the color is really becoming vibrant. It's looking great. Torch is looking great. The frog spawn and the hammer coral are doing really well. And yeah, of course I moved the Trichophilia radiata to the corner over there because it was getting so big in the center, and it was just started moving around because it'll inflate and let the current move it, kind of push it along, and it was just covering things up. So put a lot of frags in here into this area from other parts of the tank to just let them grow out. The polyphoas, the mushrooms, the Hawking's echinata is really growing really nice. Purple Veleta is doing good. And of course up here, this monster, I mean, it's just huge. This acro, not sure how well you can see it, but I mean, it's massive. Yeah, doing really well. Getting good growth all over the tank. One thing that just started happening over the last few days is the surf and turf acro just kind of started bleaching out. I'm not sure what happened. I mean, the flesh is totally gone. This coral has always had a little bit of this going on at the base since I got the coral, and I just think that once I started dosing, it just kind of pushed in one direction or the other. It's really hard to say. I rarely get a chance to sit in front of the tank, but a few times during the week now, so it's really hard to say what caused it, but the only thing that's changed is me dosing, so I'm going to have to say that's what's been happening. And also my refugium light had burned out. I'm not sure how many days it was out for, but I think that may have something to do with it, with the pH not being as stable as it has in the past. So, but other than that, I mean, that's the only thing that's not doing too great. The Sunset Monty is starting to come back. A lot of colors really happening in it. Virginus growing nicely. All the fish are happy, Maroon clown's doing well. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much more to report in the tank, other than that everything is really happy and healthy. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, enjoy your tanks. Have a good one. Until next time, take care. This has been jmadden184 with the January 2013 update. Happy reefing, everyone.